What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all good. My name is Peter, and for today's video we're going to be talking about Animal Crossing New Horizons, which came out last week. So I've not prepared a script for this video, so I might be an absolute stuttering mess in this video because I have no idea what I'm doing without a script. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as we all know, the Animal Crossing series is all about just having a relaxing time and just chilling out, and I think the island theme that they add to it really does bring that theme home. In previous Animal Crossing games, you sort of had things already there available from you, like the shop for example, but now you pretty much have to work towards getting that open in the first place, which to me really helps with that whole idea of building everything from the ground up. I mean, on the one hand, it does feel as if New Horizons has a slower start compared to the rest of the series, but at the same time, it feels a lot more satisfying when you start to get things in the end. I'm also a really big fan of the Nook Mile system, where you just have to clear certain goals to get points to then redeem for prizes. I think this helps with doing certain things that you might have neglected in past Animal Crossing games, like for example, you might just be focused on fishing all the time and not actually planting trees, but this time you're encouraged to actually plant trees, which is something that I've never really done that much of in past games. So then when a Nook Mile tells me to go plant some trees, I'll go ahead and do it, and then I get a reward for it, so now I'm actually more incentivized to do that. I think this does subtly help keep things more fresh and interesting because you're just sort of subconsciously keeping an eye out on what different things you can do now. I've also found myself in a lot of situations where I'm working towards one particular goal, but then in the process of doing that goal I end up clearing another goal unintentionally, so that's always a very satisfying feeling to have. It does feel as if you're being rewarded for just casually playing it as you're going along, really. I also think the idea of building everything from the ground up does make it feel a lot more personal. It motivates you to work towards something and gives you things to look forward to each day, which is an aspect of Animal Crossing that New Horizons has taken to another level because of this, because the series normally does excel in this anyway, but I think New Horizons has taken it to that extra step. Something else new to the series that I'm also a big fan of now is the crafting mechanic, where you just could use different items that aren't really of use to you normally and make them into new items. I think this is because one of my problems with the Animal Crossing games in the past is that there's always going to be things that you keep clinging onto that ends up becoming absolute clutter that you don't need, but this crafting mechanic actually now gives a use for these things. Like weeds now are useful, and all the tires and tin cans that you fish out that, you just throw away normally, you can now use them into building actual items, which is really cool to see. I think because of this as well, every single item you get a hold of now, you're now thinking, maybe this might have a later use to it now. Another change to this series that we've seen is that now that the different tools that we use, such as the fishing rod and the bug nets, they now have a durability system, kind of like the weapons in Breath of the Wild, for example. So this means that whenever they break down after a certain amount of use, you now have to go all the way back to craft it again. I can see why there's people out there that might not be a big fan of this, because I know that was a complaint that they had with Breath of the Wild, for example. However, what I've done to get around this is by carrying a portable crafting bench, because you can make portable versions and then just place them outside or in your house, wherever. You can just take them with you and then place it wherever you want, so then you can just craft things whenever you want. And in the process of doing so, you're also contributing towards getting those Nook Miles as well, so it's a win-win situation in my opinion. So, those have been my first impressions of Animal Crossing New Horizons. Let me know what your first impressions have been so far in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe.